What up, YouTube? What up, Facebook? It's TMDE, Browns pregame show, Browns versus the Vikings, week 4. And it's wonderful. I have a special guest, and I don't want to screw this up before I say her name. It's Kristy Acuti. And Kristy
Yes,
is this, I got it right, right?
yes, you did. I'm a cutie.
That's right, you are. She is the CEO and creator of one of the Facebook pages that we have that I am a member of. It's called Browns Fans Only. And she's doing a lot of marvelous things. How many fans we got right now? How many subscribers we got?
Oh my goodness, we are over 8,000 now, and we are just a year old.
Wow. So now that we're talking about that and we're getting into the Browns, Kristy, tell me something. Tell me something about yourself and how did you create this Browns page?
All right, well, I was born a Browns fan in Ohio. I was dragged out of the state kicking and screaming when I was 13 years old. And I swore I was going to go back after I graduated high school, but I ended up liking the Florida beaches a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
So after all these years, and of course not having social media back then, it was very hard to meet Browns fans in Florida unless you went to the Browns backers, which of course they're all over the place and they are wonderful. But after Facebook got created and seeing all these different groups, and of course all these different Browns groups, I thought this was like, oh, this is great. But it seemed like every time we lost a game, which, of course, a couple seasons ago happened often, everybody was just dogging them, and not in a good way, we're the dogs, but it was just, so.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So we were in another group, and that group had a fallout, and Pete Barker from the UK and Jamie Smith from Clearwater, Florida, said, go ahead, start this group. And my husband said, yes, do it. This is something that you love. This is a way for you to talk to other Browns fans about football, about what's going on, and have it your way. And our way is just that it's pure positive. We don't bash on Baker for throwing an interception,
I'll get his ass. I get him. But no,
I know, and I appreciate you for asking about posting that in the group. I appreciate you for that. But yeah, so August 20th of 2020 is when we went live with the group, and I brought one other admin from the last group with me. His name is Vince Carmel. Okay. And we've got tons of admins now. We've got tons of shows like yours that we love to help support. And we've got people that do all kinds of things. We've got a woodworker. We've got members all over the place too. We've got members in Qatar. We've got members in New Zealand. Of course, one of the founding members in the UK, England. So, I mean, it's grown into a life of its own. It's so exciting.
It is wonderful to have, they say Browns backers are the most prevalent in the world, like even though we might have had some losing seasons and whatnot, it's wonderful to get the support. Like I'm a member of the Browns, Pittsburgh Browns backers, and I go up there when Pittsburgh faces the Browns and I clown, I cut up, I act a damn fool, and it's such a good time, and they, I thought I was gonna get beat up, but it is what it is. But they were cool, just to come down there, we was down there for the playoffs, and when we beat their heads in last year, it was just a wonderful time. So
48-37, brother. 48-37.
All right, so let's get to it. So one of the first things I want to ask you is, last week the Browns defense dominated the Bears. So I want to ask you, in your professional opinion as a fan, is the Browns defense overrated or underrated from the game from last week versus the Bears? What do you think?
Well, I think last week we should have done a lot better offensively against the Bears. I kind of knew that our defense was going to roll over their offense. Their line is crap right now. I felt bad as a Buckeye to hear that Justin Fields was going to be put in, because I said, oh, damn, that poor kid, he's going to get killed. And luckily, when I was watching the game, I was very glad that, Myles Garrett did go very easy on him. I heard he had a couple of fractured ribs, though.
Oh, you think he went easy with 4.5 sacks? You think he went easy on him, huh?
Well, because I mean, like he didn't like drill him into the ground like he could have. It was he grabbed a leg, which it's still sad, but he didn't hurt him. He could have hurt him.
Yeah,
He's
I
twice his
guess.
size.
Yes, he could have hurt him. I felt, in my opinion, I felt that. Oh boy, when I say this, a lot of people gonna get upset.
It's
I
okay.
expect,
Go ahead.
I
Do it.
expected, I expected domination. That's what they were supposed to do because, like
Yeah.
you said, Justin Fields is a rookie. If I was Nagy, the head coach of the Bears, I would have put Nick Foles in. I wouldn't have put Fields in at that moment in time. It just didn't make
No.
a lot of sense to me because they're not ready. They're not playoff ready. They're not ready to go nowhere. It's not a win now for them.
It was like for me, it felt very familiar. Like,
Okay.
am I watching? It was like the Browns a couple seasons ago. we did that to all of our rookies. I mean, like, how many rookies did we kill?
A lot.
Exactly. Because we had no offensive line. And that's exactly what they did to Justin. And I felt so horrible for him. I knew it was going to happen, but I expected.
Well, he's a professional, and he took a professional ass whooping last week.
Yeah,
it is. It is what it is. So the next thing I want to talk to you about, and this has been going on, I've been seeing this go on so much during Facebook during the week, and it drives me crazy. Who should be the number one running back, Hunt or Chubb? How do you feel about that?
I gotta say it's gotta be Hunt right now at this point. I'm not very technical when I watch football. I like to just watch the game, watch the players do well. So I'm not sure exactly who has more yardage and who has more carries. But as a fan just watching, it seems like Hunt has had more touches. He's definitely scored more. Mm-hmm. So right now it looks like Hunt would be the number one, in my opinion.
I totally agree with you. But Kareem is that guy. He's very athletic. He's they want to call him now the Tasmanian devil, because his running style is kind of, I wouldn't say it's unorthodox. I just think that's what his natural gant, the way his body mechanics.
People.
Yeah, and I don't think it was very unfair. And I'm looking at people online like, why would y'all say that? Why would y'all say that Hunt should go over Chubb? We supposed to have a tandem. These guys are on the field, which I'm gonna say this question because it's something coming up. But these guys are a tandem, so I'm gonna have to stick with stick with Chubb on this one. But I love when Kareem is on the field. It gives us that extra dynamic. Look out for this, look out for that. You just can't cover everybody on this team, and I expect a lot of things from the Browns.
I love seeing them both out there. And our wide receivers, having Odell out last season and getting to see Hollywood play more and Donovan play more, and D'Ernest Johnson, seeing those guys out there giving it all, playing their heart out, because they're not the first, they're not the second. It makes me excited because that's what I like about college football is, they're out there trying their hardest so that they can get to that next level. Well, now you're in the NFL. So what are you going to do to get to that next level? Mm-hmm. And a lot of guys got lucky when Odell got hurt, and now he's back and Jarvis is out. So I think we're going to see a lot going on with the wide receivers, especially this weekend, because I heard the secondary for the Vikings isn't doing too well on getting their pass coverage.
No, their defense is suspect, but the offense can move the ball. So I seriously doubt if you see 9 sacks from Kirk Cousins. That's just not going to happen. If they get 3 or 4, I will be shocked and amazed if they can pull that off. Because like I said, defensively, this is the second best team the Browns have faced this year besides Kansas City, who should be 0-3. But
yeah, it should be. But
for some reason they got away. Now, speaking of that, Joe Woods, your boy Joe Woods,
yes.
I gotta get on him. I gotta keep it 100 because I wanted him going like last year, and my patience is very thin for stupidity. But anyway, so as the defensive coordinator, it is. It just I can see certain things, and a lot of. If you look at some of my previous posts from the other years, when I called for people's heads early, they got fired. I'm just telling you.
No. He's already gone. We might as well just write him off.
No, we're not going to say that. But like I said, do you feel like after last game that Joe Woods may or may have not gotten himself out of the hot seat as a defensive coordinator?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because we go back to the fact that Chicago's offensive line wasn't much to deal with anyway. You know, exactly. We should have all expected those 9 sacks. Mm-hmm. Now, but also, can you really blame him for how the guys are playing on the field?
Okay, you got a point.
I mean, like, it's not like when you're on offense where you can blame the coach for a bad call. You know, maybe he should have ran that play at the time, you know. But with defense, how are you really supposed to be able to prepare your guys besides showing them, you know, the footage from weeks before and, you know, running drills against the offense? I think as a defensive coach, you know, you're kind of put in a bad position because your hands are tied as to what the players actually do out on the field.
Okay, I can respect your opinion. But here's my when you
go ahead.
Now I want to steal your side, but when you're sitting back in a zone, you know, all game, you know, I believe in some press coverage, man coverage, a little bit more cover too. And, you know, the Browns had an issue with these linebackers, and we're still going through that right now. If it's not Walker being hurt, you know, Arusa Koromora, I want to see more of that. And last game, why didn't you start blitzing the first 2 games? Was it just because you had a rookie there? Why didn't you just attack now? You didn't do that until last game. So,
right.
he's on the bench. He's jumping around. He's getting all happy like, okay, go against a good offense and let me see you do that. Call these plays. He's the play caller. He's the man. He got a guy in the booth. Hey, what do you think? No, I don't want to do that. I was getting the prevent. You know, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And it just, that blows my mind at times, this guy's coverage. And now, like I said, I know your page is supposed to be positive. I get it. I refrain when I'm on your page. But
you're positive that Joe Woods is dropping the ball on us.
Exactly. So we'll see at the end of, you know, tomorrow what he can do against Kirk Cousins. They're lucky that Dalvin Cook is not playing. We're fortunate that. But Masterson, he's a decent running back as well.
Yeah.
So are they going to stack the box? Are they going to try to, you know, a little more press coverage? They're going to blitz. What do you expect? What do you think he's going to do tomorrow?
I honestly don't know because I haven't watched any of the previous Vikings games to see how their offense runs. And granted, it's only been, you know, 3 games, but you can kind of get an idea, just like, you know, with us. I mean, obviously, when we have Odell out on the field, when we have Hunt on the field, they're most likely going to get the ball. You can predict that. So it all depends on, you know, what's been going on the last 3 games. And I don't know because I haven't watched. I'm
sorry. You got to watch. And that is all right. You know, like I said, the Vikings, their offense, they're 1-2. Their offense, they can move the ball up and down the field. You know, they have a playoff quarterback. I think he's overpaid, in Kirk Cousins. Stefanski is familiar. Remember, Stefanski coached this guy. So they're pretty much familiar, you know, with, you might have Kirk Cousins and defense coordinator here. The Browns run a lot of 3 tight end sets. They run a lot of that, you know, and which leads me to my next question. How do you feel about Kevin Stefanski running this offense right now? Do you have any nay, yay or nay? What do you think?
I love it. I mean, I think Coach did perfect last season as a first-time head coach. I don't think he could have done better of a job than getting us to, you know, the playoffs like he did. And this season, it's like, it's almost like it's taken us a little bit to get started. You know, we're not quite warmed up during the first quarter. and even going into halftime, it's like, oh, come on, you guys, let's step this up. Let's get moving.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's the guys that are the ones that are causing that hiccup, or if it's maybe the play calling. Is he starting to call more running plays later on in the game? I don't know. I haven't been paying that much attention. I've been going nuts, just excited that football's back and we're winning.
Why you
Well,
gotta pay
except for
attention. No, it's okay. Wow. My opinion, I think he's been, let's take game 1, Kansas City, into the second quarter. I don't know what the hell was going on. We were in the red zone. We had an opportunity to put points up. Kansas City is a second half team. They start out slow as molasses, and they just speed up like what Dre says, 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. And in that time frame, you have to get on their ass immediately and start putting points up. I felt at the end of that second quarter, they squandered that getting field goal range. Give me something. And they didn't do it. I think Baker didn't end up taking a sack. I was like, oh my God. And that I think he gets too conservative at times, attack.
He goes for a lot on fourth down though, and you got to hand it to him, because a lot of coaches back a couple seasons ago, they wouldn't go for it on fourth down.
True.
They'd always go ahead and kick the field goal. You're seeing fourth down now being played out a lot more. And my dad, being a Pee Wee coach, and when he raised me on the sidelines, he was always like, you go for the definite points. Okay. So if you're in the red zone, you're within field goal range, kick the field goal. But I also like to you're taking a chance, you're putting your guys out there and you're saying, I trust that you're going to get this. And sometimes they don't, and they should have. So.
Well, last week we got sacked twice. Baker got sacked twice on 4. I was like, dude. And the other one, I'm like this. When it comes to, football is almost like chess. It's a strategy. You know what your rook can do. You know what your king can do. You know what your pawn can do. And you move these pieces in certain areas to do certain things. And
so do you think that Jedrick Will's injury has a little bit to do with what's going on with the offensive line right now?
Yes, I do. Right now, we're hurting on the offensive line. I don't know what Jedrick Wills that one time he got sacked. That was not Baker's fault. I'm like I said, I'm hard on him, but it wasn't. Jedrick stood there like, oh my God, he just got around him like, dude, what are you doing? So yeah, I do. I will agree. I will give him that. Yeah, I think his injury has something to do with the way the Browns line is playing. But in the offseason, you have to establish depth. You gotta have people when somebody goes down. You gotta have that. Jedrick Wills is he's a good.
Where's that kid where's that guy that met Baker that one day against, his first game? He meets Baker because he went in as backup. Where's he at?
Are you talking about Teller, Austin Teller?
I think that's no. It wasn't Teller. It was a lineman that he went in for. I think Jedrick last season. It was towards the end of the season, and he had never even met Baker before. Actually, he was like a third string or something. I don't know.
Oh, but I know what you're talking about. I cannot think of that guy's name.
Yeah, where did he go?
Yeah, he came in the playoff game against Pittsburgh. That was like his first game.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But he made it work.
Exactly. Where is our backup with that kind of dedication, that kind of performance? That's what I want out of the backup. If Jedrick has to go out to the side because his ankle's still hurting, then let him rest up. We need him later in the season.
Exactly. So who would you blame that on? If anybody?
Well, obviously, whoever's letting him go back into the game. If he's saying he's okay, I mean, you got to trust that he's saying, okay, I'm okay. But you also have to be the coach and kind of like the parent and see that, okay, he's not performing like he should be. Maybe he is sidestepping a little bit easier because of the fact that his leg is hurting him. Let's get him out. Let's put somebody in his place that is healthy, that can, block for Baker, do their job, and hopefully Jedrick will get better and come out do his job better.
Yeah, the injury bug.
I don't know. That's all I can say.
No, you're fine. The injury bug, that's a part of the NFL game. We lose players. Grant Delpit, we lost him last year. He's back. He had a pretty decent. I like that hit he got last week. We supposed to have this depth. Like I said before, my main thing is Joe Woods, man. I need to see something tomorrow. If I don't see something tomorrow, I'm gonna do my Browns rant and I'm gonna go off. And it's not gonna be as nice as it is.
I'll watch it on your page.
I want to post it on BFA so bad, but I know I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna leave it alone, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, the Browns backers in Pittsburgh, they love it. So
I love it. I listened to it. I saw you sitting in your car, and I'm like, all right, he's got some points.
I appreciate it. So last but not least, before we wrap this up, what will be the final score Sunday versus the Vikings in your professional and opinion?
Oh, man. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game on either end.
Oh, okay.
I think it might be like 21-17 Browns.
And why do you feel that? Why do you feel like you think the defenses are going to prevail? Why do you feel like it's not? I have a different opinion, but why do you feel like it's going to be a low score?
I think it is going to have a lot to do with the defense.
Okay. So you think the Browns defense is going to step up to the plate?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Myles said they ain't performing like they're supposed to. He called them out.
He did.
So
I think
that fire.
You're absolutely right. I think it's going to be something like a shootout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't. Like I said, Kirk Cousins is a seasoned quarterback. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in the NFL, but he knows how to play the game. When they came from Washington, he's been in the playoffs with Washington. He's been in, I'm saying they playoffs with Minnesota. The guy, like I said, he's not that athletic. He's not the flamboyant. He doesn't have fire commercials with Hulu and that like some other people. I ain't just taking shots. I'm just saying.
Need him either,
Yeah,
he's done without Hulu commercials and progressive commercials.
Yeah, Baker got a brand, but anyway. But I think it's going to be.
Got a pretty face.
Yeah, well, if you say so. But I think it's going to be. I'm looking maybe 35-30.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm thinking around that time, around that frame, because like I said, I gotta show these guys can move the ball, Kristy. They can move the ball. So
do you see the ball going through the air a lot more than on the ground, or how do you?
The Browns, I think this is going to be a balanced game because, like I said, everything that the Browns do is predicated basically off the run. That's how it should be. I don't expect Baker Mayfield to go out there and throw for 350, 27 for 31. I don't expect that at all.
I want to see him just throw one bomb, like just
that's fine.
I want that one just waiting for it.
I do too, but I just don't see. I see a lot of more of the second tier, shorter passing game. More high percentage plays, and I think it's. Joe was got to show me that he can stop somebody good. He's got to. They was doing everything right in the first quarter of that Kansas City game. Everything right. I was like, wow, they own it. And then all of a sudden the wheels fell off and they back in the game. So what happened? So based on
going back to like last season when we almost blew it to Tennessee last season. We almost blew it to the Cowboys last season, because it's the same exact thing. It was like we started getting really tired at the end.
Exactly. And who was the head coach? Joe Woods.
Well,
excuse me, the defensive coordinator. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is. I'm looking for, like I said, I like competitive games like that, shootouts where it's entertaining, it's fun to watch, it's not boring, and we finally got a kicker.
She doesn't watch the end of the games when they're like that. I remember being a kid, she would go outside in the snow during the cardiac kids when we were playing Denver, and she'd sit on the picnic table in like 2 feet of snow because she just did not want to be anywhere near the house to hear what was going on at the end of the game.
Who is this?
My mom.
Oh, your mom's a diehard Browns fan.
Oh yeah, both my parents are.
Wonderful. They're good people. Yeah. I can see they raised you right.
Oh yeah. My mommy and daddy are the best people in the world. Oh my gosh, they're my best friends, and they support me and my craziness too. Like, I don't know what's wrong with them, but
ain't nothing wrong with them at all. They're good fans. Like you said, you was born in Ohio, and then I'm gonna have to when are you planning, or are you ever gonna come down for a tailgate down here?
I'm actually coming up for my birthday in 2 weeks.
Oh, what is your plan?
Yeah. Well, we fly in Thursday, and then Friday the 15th, we're going to go hang out around the stadium and check it out before like people get there, because the stadiums down here are boring. There's nothing going on outside the Tampa Bay Bucks Stadium. There's nothing going on outside the Dolphins.
Nothing's going on around Tampa Bay? Are you serious?
No, I mean, like, at the stadium, like they don't have the plaques on the outside of the stadium like they do in Cleveland, and they don't have, the Jim Brown statue. They don't have any statue.
Wow.
Because maybe they'll erect a Tom Brady statue after he retires there, but it's the stadiums aren't nearly as cool. And I've never been to First Energy Stadium, so I want to spend some time there and hang out. Mm-hmm. And then that night we're going to go to the Haunted Restaurant. And Saturday we are actually going to go to see the East 88th Street Little Browns, because they are a PB football team that we sponsored during the off season. And all of our members raised enough money to put on jerseys and uniforms on 36 to 7-year-old kids.
Oh, that is wonderful. That is wonderful.
It was great.
I like to keep the kids involved, kids in sports, and
they were the little ones, and they had no uniforms. Like the older kids had uniforms, but they were so little and they're so underprivileged, they didn't have any. So Pete Barker actually came up with the idea, and luckily we have a Unique Browns fan named Unique Brown that is in Cleveland.
Yeah, I seen him. He's doing his barbecues at the Muni lot, but they had kind of, I don't know if he was there when they had that little brawl. I hope he wasn't involved in that.
No. He was well in the state. No, he was way far away from there.
I'm gonna have to get with him. So,
we're gonna go see those kids, and then we're gonna go. We've got another member, Danny Cleveland, who has the gigantic 40-foot Cleveland Browns flag, and he actually just took that to New York for the New York Post. But we're gonna go get our picture in front of the big flag and go to PJ McIntyre's, where Danny has a Cleveland Browns pub club. And we're gonna hang out and party all night, and then go to the game on Sunday against the Cardinals.
Okay, yeah, I was planning. I hope I see an invite in my inbox so that I can get down there with you.
Of course, you're invited.
Yeah, I haven't been tailgating at all. That's one thing I have not done in Cleveland. I have not tailgated at all.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna start at Nat's, and then we're gonna make our way over to Top Dog before we go into the actual stadium. And Top Dog is having like some crazy macaroni and cheese thing where they've got 50 billion different types of macaroni and cheese. And Nat's has, I think he said 60 slabs of ribs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? So, say no more. I'll be, you don't have to say nothing else. I'll be down there.
Yeah, come on along with us. We'd love to have you.
No problem. Now we about to wrap it up. Kristy, you got anything you want to say to the Browns fans that are watching right now? Your last comments about tomorrow's game, or how you feel about being a Browns fan? We love you. We appreciate you. Any last comments before we go?
Just that I am so thankful for everybody that has become a member and a VIP and BFO, because it means so much to me. I mean, like, we had, I think, 100 people last year at this time, and to see it grow over 8,000, me and the admins, we can't believe it. And I'll tell you what, they are the reason why this group is so successful, because they're the ones that, deal with all the crap, and they're the ones that let in the members. And, I wouldn't have this group if it weren't for them.
Wonderful. And they are a bunch of wonderful human beings. And I,
Oh
like I
yes.
said, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Like I said,
Oh,
Kristy
thank you
Acuti.
for having me.
No problem. No problem. That was Kristy Acuti from BFO Browns fans only. Check us out on the Facebook page. Become a member. We only accept diehard core members and keep it positive. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is Marcus Donald, aka Mr. DM, TMDE. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. You can catch us on out of Spotify, Facebook, YouTube. We streaming right now. This is the end of the show, and we see y'all later. Y'all take care. Have a great night, and go Browns.